I'm Jay Thomas, and welcome to Rides.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners.
All right, we're heading over to Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Hopefully the weather's gonna hold up. We got rain coming in. We're gonna look at a 1959 Impala. It is customized. The guy did an unbelievable job, and he did most of the work himself. Wait till you see this Impala. Myron?
Yep.
Jay Thomas Rides. Wow, that is gorgeous.
Lady Blue.
Oh, look at that.
Climb in.
He's already buttered me up. Oh, man. Oh, my God. This is beautiful. What's the story on this car?
I spent 4 winters building it. It's got the original 348. I built it as a 60s custom. There's probably 15 modifications on it.
Those are not Impala taillights back here. These are not the cat eyes.
Nope. 59 Buick.
Look at that.
60 Buick bumper.
Why did you decide to go there? Because people love the cat eyes.
I saw a picture from an old 50s magazine that was very similar. I had to make sure it fit, so I took a picture, had them blow it up life size. Then I took round rod, put steel studs out to hold it in place, and then welded in metal.
This is cool. Now, what are these off of?
Cupboard door pulls.
Is that what they are, really?
Yep.
That's hot rodding. You look at something and go, you know what, that would look cool.
Gas cap was here tilted down. So when I put this in, that eliminated it, and then I put the license plate down here.
Okay.
There's the filler. And it's vented. It doesn't leak gas, fumes, or anything.
You went all out on this.
That's my wife's tuck and roll.
That's her work?
She did that.
Your big favor.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then on the side, took a 59 front fender spear and put it back here. It's a subtle thing.
That's how they're done right, because every time somebody looks at it, they catch something else.
And I Frenched the antenna, but I put an accent
Look at
light on
that.
it.
That is not an Impala grill.
59 Imperial. It wasn't a case of bolting in, so I had to put round rod and fill all that in.
Well, you like that round rod, don't you?
It's good filler stuff.
Let's see the jewelry box, man. 348, you said?
348, original engine.
Not that it matters anymore if it's numbers matching on, because it's so
Everybody says numbers
customized.
matching. It doesn't matter on this.
Doesn't matter on this. This blue is just stunning on this, Myron. What color blue is this?
2014 Ford pickup.
Folks, when you're looking at paint for your vehicles, don't be afraid to look at the new stuff. It looks so much different on a classic or an antique car than it does on the new cars.
A lot of guys take all of this chrome off, but we decided, you know, that's a lot of blue. Let's keep the chrome with
It
it.
kind of breaks it up, but it fits the whole theme of the car.
When I put buckets in, it didn't come with them. These are 64, 65 Pontiac buckets.
These things are comfortable.
Yep. And I don't like the aftermarket shifters. I've always liked this horseshoe shifter.
I mean, it's custom, but
Yep.
you did the customization right. So did you do all this work yourself?
I did everything but the engine overhaul, the pinstriping, and the interior.
But you did the body on this?
Yep.
What's your background?
A music teacher.
A music, I love it, a music teacher.
You want me to fire it?
Of course, you gotta fire it up. That is the sound of America, baby. Should we go for a ride? That's a trip back in time right there. What a ride. The smell, the feel. You are a talented man. I'm blown away. Thanks so much for sharing your story. Dave
Good to see you,
Courier,
buddy.
Mr. Cannonball.
How the Cannonball works, it is the most grueling motorcycle race there is in the world. The real honest mission of the Cannonball was a 100-year-old motorcycle. There was 45 guys and they wanted to reenact Cannonball Baker. And Cannonball Baker is a guy that rode a bike across the U.S. in 13 days. Now it's a big event. Yeah, we did 4,000 miles in 16 days, 11 states, and what a ride. Toughest grind you could ever imagine.
And he won it all. You won the whole thing, number one. It's an amazing story. I can't wait to see it. And there it is, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan to Padre Island, Texas.
Yeah, it was an awesome ride. Well, come on in and see what we got in here.
I can't wait. Oh, this is great. Wow.
Well, this is where I do the builds of the Cannonball race bikes.
Wow. This is awesome. What do we have here?
That is the 1911 single-cylinder atmospheric valve Cannonball 2021 winning bike.
That's
right there.
It right
Yep.
there. How did you get into this?
The older bikes really gravitated to my liking. As soon as Cannonball really started in 2010, I read everything I could find. So I picked the 1911 because of the difficulty. It's an atmospheric valve, it's got the leather belt, it's a single cylinder, and quite frankly, that bike was the most difficult thing to get to run because on the Cannonball, you've got to be able to run about 40 miles an hour.
Well, here's my question. Okay, if you're going through the mountains on these, what does that do to your carburation?
I adjust on the fly.
No, we're talking a 1911
single
bike
with a belt
going
drive.
40 belt drive.
Yep.
How many belts did you have to take on the road?
I had 4 belts stacked up here so that I could do a quick change. It took me about 8 minutes to change all the leather belt and the leather lagging. And I went through 22 of those on the 16 days, so.
No, if that belt snaps on you when you're in the middle of the race, you've got to fix it there on the spot.
Right on the spot. How the Cannonball works is in the morning I get up and I get the map. This is the map on how you navigate.
So how are you supposed to control this and look at this?
The first thing the rider does is pick your fuel stops. And then as soon as you have all that logged in, you go to your bike, you put it in here, and this scrolls. So as you're moving along, that's how you actually navigate the Cannonball.
I think I have the same Google system in my truck, man. I can't imagine every morning the butterflies, because you have no idea until you get that map, and even then you're going, okay.
You have no idea what terrain, climbing, weather, you have no idea where you're headed. The thing about the map is, if you miss a turn, you have no idea where you're at. You can't use a GPS or anything like that. That's against the rules. If you get lost, you go back to your checkpoint where you know you were right, and then you reset your odometer and then go again.
So how long are you on the road each day?
7:30 to 4 to 5:30.
Okay.
It's a long day.
That is, and again, on a 1911, that's got to be rough on the body.
That's a tough ride, let me tell you, Jay.
That's quite the arse pad there. I don't blame you.
After a day riding of this, it was a little tough walking. It's a tough bike to ride. The handlebars are way back. You have to pedal it to start it. Basically, the bike is the most difficult bike to ride.
Did you have a lot of breakdowns, or were you really surprised at how well it took the 4,000 plus miles?
We did a tremendous amount of testing on this bike. We really had it dialed in. The only thing I had go wrong is 2 days before the end, I lost a coil. Well, as a good Cannonball, you got a coil here, you just pull it up, you pull the wire down, put it on the spark plug, and away you go. So, you know, I had all those things in my mind. My biggest fear on the Cannonball was a flat tire, because that's tough to change.
Yeah, you don't have one strapped on your back.
No.
But after doing that first one, Dave, that's got to make a huge difference when it comes to knowing what to have with you.
And you really know what's going on in the motor.
This is a spine shaker, kidney buster. Now, what you're wearing, is that what you wear on the ride?
This is basic Cannonball gear, folks, and I do have the old helmet. This is the way it really worked in the old days.
That's really not a good brain bucket. That ain't gonna do the job, man.
That's the way it looked in the old days,
Yeah.
but for modern day, we do wear a helmet. So you guys gotta take a film.
What's the prize?
So the last 9 miles, we rode with a police escort across the long bridge of the South Padre to the convention center, and there wasn't anybody
You
there.
had to be goosebumps.
Oh yeah. And we got about 1.5 miles from the finish line, and the director on a modern bike slides up, hands me the checkered flag. He says, "I think this belongs to you."
Even I'm getting goosebumps, man.
Across the finish line, and that was the bronze prize that we got, which was unbelievable.
How coveted is that trophy?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, it couldn't be more fitting. It's a single cylinder. I mean, it's got the guy, he's got the map, he's got the old boots.
How heavy is that thing?
It's heavy.
I don't even
You can
want...
pick it up.
Are you...
It's insured, don't worry about it.
Holy, are you serious?
It's heavy.
Oh, I think I missed my shoulder. This has been fun. You have a passion for it. What we're gonna go see next is what?
It's Dave's gas station. And basically, I keep my extra bikes there and a few other little things.
Can't wait. We'll see you at Dave's gas station. Let's go. All right, so we're heading into the lakes area in northern Minnesota, and we're gonna see the other shop that Dave Courier has, Mr. Cannonball himself. I can't wait to see what else Dave has. Check this out. This is gonna be a good time.
Hey, Jay!
I made it.
You made it. Welcome to Dave's
Dude,
gas
this
station.
is unbelievable. Oh, look at you, man. You got
Yeah, man, this is cool. So this is kind of my little getaway man cave, and it's my little shop.
We're going in?
Yeah, let's go in and take a look.
After you. Oh, oh yeah, dude. Oh, I don't know where to start, man. Come on, really? Flying Merkel?
Yeah, that's a 1911 Flying Merkel. That's an all-original bike, and there's probably 7 or 8 original bikes like that. Wow. And the Merkel was really an advanced motorcycle for its time.
What set them apart?
The way the whole motor is assembled, mechanical valves, the bike itself was about 1,000 cc's, so it's a big engine for the day.
Yeah. What do we got up on the stand?
That's a board track, and the thing about the board track racing is it started out early, and what an Aerodome board track was a wooden circular racetrack. But the unfortunate thing about them is they were made out of wood, and they were banked corners, and they had a lot of fatalities. So the Motorcycle Association stopped allowing the board track bike on the wooden boards. So that's how the flat track came to be. Then they moved to the dirt. This is an original 1913 Harley single.
This is the one that's untouched.
This is untouched, 100% original, even to the box behind the seat. I will never ride this bike.
There are Harley folks watching this right now, even if they're not Harley folks, but they're collectors.
It's the Holy Grail. You can still see the Harley emblem and some of the striping on it.
Oh.
So I kind of like that old stuff. It grows on you. This is probably my nicest original bike. This is my #1 bike of all favorite. That's a 1948 WR race bike.
Gorgeous.
And that was my dad's original bike. And he actually ran the flat track circuit in 3 states. We got the bike back, we restored it, and it went through 9 people. And the bike came for sale. So I went to Minneapolis. I'm sitting in the front row, and there's a guy next to me. He said, "What bike are you bidding on?" I said, "The next one coming up." "Really?" He said, "That's the one I'm looking at too."
Uh-oh.
He said, "What's your name?" I told him, "Dave Courier." He said, "Is that your dad's bike?" And I said, "Yeah." So the auction starts. Well, the guy next to me gets up, goes up on the stage, talks to the auctioneer. He puts the mic down. He came down in the front row, got right in my face and said, "Are you Dick Courier's son?" I said, "Yeah." He goes back up and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking the reserve off this bike. We're going to sell it." And he's looking at me, "Bid." And so finally I put my hand up like that, and he took the gavel and he went, "Sold." He just cut everybody off.
Oh, what a guy, man.
And he said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dick Courier's son. He's going to tell you about his dad and the 48 WR and the race bike. So we got the bike back. My dad had not seen this bike for over 60 years. So the first thing he did is he walked to the bike and he went underneath the transmission with his hand, and then he went around to the other side and he rubbed the frame rail. He said, this is my bike. And I said, how do you know? He said, because underneath on the transmission there's a crack and I welded that, and the welding is still there.
This is something else. Well, I got to tell you, Dave Courier, it's guys like you that are keeping this sport, this hobby, this thrill alive. Thanks for being on Rides. You're a great guy. All right, man, we're gonna check out, I guess it's a Kanzler? This will be a first for Rides. We're looking for Ken. Ken. How you doing,
Good to
man?
meet you.
Jay Thomas Rides. How you doing, brother?
What do you think?
I have never seen one of these before.
Very rare.
So
It's a
a
Kanzler.
Kanzler.
Yep.
K-A-N.
It's not a kit car. It was made by the factory. They made 6 of them in the factory. There was 1 prototype, so there's actually 7 of them. This one is actually number 001.
You've got number 1.
I got number 1.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
Internet.
Just off the
Yeah.
internet.
In Minnesota, the guy got in trouble with the law. He needed something for collateral to get out of jail.
Okay.
He used this for collateral. He gets out of jail, he wants his car back, and the guy says, well, you have to pay this, this, and this. He said, just keep the car. So the bail bondman kept the car, put it in his dad's barn, and I bought it from him. Took me a long time to buy it.
I've never heard of these.
Kanzler himself, he was worked with Ford. Him and Ford got into a disagreement. He left. He went to work for Opel.
This kind of has an Opel look to it.
Yep.
Yeah, the back part does, yeah. Of course, when we were young, we always thought they looked like little miniature Corvettes.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Always wanted one, I never had one. You find weird stuff on the internet.
So what did these things go for when they were brand new?
They started at 65 and went up to 80.
Wow.
That's actually a letter if someone wanted to buy one
$73,200.
for the way he wanted it.
Wow. Now, you go back to 79 and put that to today's money,
Well, you look at a Corvette back then, you could buy a lot of Corvettes for that money.
and I won't ask what you got it for.
Actually, what you pay for them is nothing.
Really?
It's what you put into them.
Yeah. It's almost like they just dropped an Opel GT on a kit. It's got to be all fiberglass?
Fiberglass with metal underneath.
Did they build their own chassis for this, or did they steal from something?
Okay, they bought Mercury Cougars. Well, they started out the first one, they bought Lincolns
Okay.
with the 460. And that's what they made their prototype out of, but it was too expensive. So they went and bought brand new Cougars, took the parts they want off of, and sold the rest. So it's all Ford motors. It's real easy to find parts for.
What's the engine in this?
351M modified
Okay.
with the 400 block. So it's the big block.
Really? This thing's got to have nothing for weight.
You might be. How much do you think it weighs?
I'm guessing 2,500, 3,000 pounds?
3,600 pounds.
I was off that much, huh? Wow. Holy smokes!
There you go.
Wow, that is jammed in there. Look how far up front that is. 6 of them. How many are still actually in existence on the road?
They say there might be 3 of them that are alive yet.
3. Well, you know when you go to car shows, you know that you're the only one.
Yep.
You know, you can go there with your Camaros and your Chevelles and your Stangs, and you know there's gonna be umpteen million of them. You pull up in a 79 Kanzler, you know. I'm just trying to wrap my head around this, man. This is crazy.
The rear stuff is really neat. You don't have to lock your gas cap. No one can find it.
Oh, there it is right there.
We're gassing up down to the local gas station one day, and 2 of the young boys come by. Do you mind if we take pictures? Go ahead.
Yeah, take pictures. Automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes.
Old time.
Old time, okay.
Yeah, the one where you go like this, and then it starts churning.
Yeah. What'd they do for an interior? I mean, this is a custom interior, but did they steal anything?
Everything else is custom. Custom-made seats. The actual wood in there is actual teak, handmade.
Wow.
Very, very unique.
Wow.
And it's all the little things that make the car.
That teak's held up really good.
Yeah.
Have you had to do anything to it?
I put tung oil on it.
Tung oil on it, yeah. Interior's in really good shape.
Yeah, it was taken care of.
A Jensen stereo? Boy, does that scream late 70s, early 80s.
It's got all the luxuries.
No, are these the actual wheels that came with
Yep.
the car? They came with true spokes on them.
But everything flows together. Underneath, it's all I-beams. It's probably the safest car you ever drive in.
The more you look at it, the more you see the Opel, man. I
Yep.
mean, it's just, you see it, it's right there. So heads must turn when you show up with this.
People stopping in the street. When the guy brought it in, he brought it in an open trailer. He got stopped twice before he got to my house.
1 of 6, and you've got VIN number 1. All right, we're gonna go for a cruise in this wicked, I don't know, Kinsler. I can't believe this thing really actually rides good. We're about to find out. All right, so can you swear? Oh, he smokes, man. My boots barely fit in here. Is this seat? Oh, it's all the way back. Okay, here we go. That's a quiet ride.
Yeah,
It's not a rattle trap, or it's just
No,
nice and smooth.
it's tight.
Damn.
Let's switch around. You can drive it.
Yeah, all right. You got something special here. This is just, this is a smile on a face, people. Until you send pictures, I have never heard of one of these.
Yep.
Never seen one. This is awesome, man. Thank you for the experience. Thanks for being on Rides, brother.
Hey, we love it.
This thing drives amazing. I cannot believe it. There is not a rattle in this car. I purposely hit some good bumps on the road just to see, because usually you get in old cars like this and there's gonna be rattles and shakes. This car does not have one rattle in it, and it rides like a Cadillac. And it's a 1979 Kinsler. This is fabulous. This was a great experience. This is what Rides is all about, man. Hey, if you have a cool story that involves a car, a motorcycle, a boat, heck, anything with an engine, we want to hear about it. Just go to rideswithjthomas.tv, send us a picture with your story, and your ride could be featured on the show. And don't forget to visit the merch shop where you can get all your Rides gear. From everyone here at Rides, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Blanking this, man.
For about 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. How do you think I'd make it 10 minutes?
And once you can't feel anything from your belly button down,
you're done.
So why only 6? Was there a reason why only 6? He just shut down, ran out of money?
Do it this.
Son of a thanks a lot.